pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Dr. Grable, do we have changes to the agenda this evening?
We do have a couple additions. They're all under B, personnel. Under number 1, new hires, add item D, Dan McDonald, junior senior high assistant musical director. Also add E, Jessica Young, elementary school aide for pre-K. And F, Matt Henry, volunteer strength and conditioning coach at the high school. That is it.
Lori, do we have any patron comments?
We do not.
We do not. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. This being the first meeting of the year, we need to elect officers this evening, a president, a vice president, and a secretary. Anyone like to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion that we have Lisa as the president, Brad Swartzel as the vice president, and then can I do this? And me as the secretary.
Secretary. Do I have a motion to approve Denny's?
I make a motion to approve it. Election of officers.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's done. On to Board of Finance annual meeting. We also need to elect a president and secretary for this, for the Board of Finance.
I'll make a motion that we keep Lisa as the president and Denny as the secretary.
Second.
Oh, we're gonna count that as a motion?
Oh,
And then that'll be second? Okay. And any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's done. Reading and approval of depositories for corporation funds. Dr. Grable?
It flies here. Community State Bank, we have two banks we primarily deal with, Community State Bank and US Bank are depositories. Community State Bank are the majority of our funds. US State Bank, that deals with our bond funds. We'd recommend continuing to utilize these two institutions for our depositories.
You have a memo that shows what our CDs are currently and the rate, the term. And on the second one, it's showing 6 month, but Jesse Robinson was able to give us the 7 month rate. So we got a better rate on that one. And from last year to this year, we had an additional $2,069.62 for by getting a new rate and with the interest and such.
That's actually the next slide, but that's.
Oh, sorry.
But that's fine. First, you
Okay.
need to approve the deposit.
Okay,
Okay, sorry.
Approve the depositories for corporation funds.
I make a motion that we approve the depositories for corporation funds.
Second that.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Review of overall investment policy.
Go ahead, I'll let Lori. Lori's talking about our investments, the investment report. So I'll go ahead and finish that part of that. So
I was pretty much done.
That she was explaining the bottom part of that, the investment report on our CDs. The actual investment policy you have at your seat, that is board policy 6144. That's a board policy that's in our Neola policies that lays out what the corporation treasurer has the authorization to do. You have that in front of you. It was last, let me see, looks like last adopted in 2019. Last changes that were made to that. So basically, all investments are made in compliance with Indiana law, and they ensure that we follow that. So you have that there in front of you.
And they have to be under two years for each CD.
Recommend the approval of the investment report as presented.
I make a motion that we approve the reading and of the investment report.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Reading and approval to remove outstanding checks.
Outstanding checks over 2 years old are typically voided to remove them from the financial records. Vendors can submit a new claim voucher if the funds are still owed. You have in front of you a report showing the handful of checks that have not been cashed by those that we've written checks to. I think there's three that are over 2 years old, and the people have not cashed them. So we are requesting approval to void those.
I'll make a motion to approve to remove the outstanding checks.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you go. Checks can be removed. Review written report on corporation's financial condition.
Again, this is an annual requirement of the Board of Finance, which is an annual requirement. That was the first slide we kind of ran past there. This is a requirement for the January board meeting, which is the reorganization meeting, which the board has to do when they elect new officers for the upcoming year. You also have to have this Board of Finance meeting. And all the pieces we've just walked through are the required components of the Board of Finance meeting, along with this piece where we have to go through basically the financial condition of the school corporation. And basically what we do is walk through the slides from the Department of Education's financial dashboard for the school corporation. Now, keeping in mind that this information is from the last December that you'll see, and we'll try to provide some updated information off to the sides. But when the state has this information for us, this will be last December of 24, budget year ending in December of 24. So, but this is our official budget dashboard for the state, with the state. So this just shows just some basic information, our ADM, our assessed value for 2025, and then we have some more detailed slides on these, an estimated population for our district, our area, I guess. Here is our net assessed value for the school corporation. You kind of see historically what it's done the last several years. Initially from 2019 to 2021, it was dropping. And then the trend in the state was kind of that dramatic increases. So from 22 through 25, we've seen some pretty big increases in our net and our assessed value. 13 to 17% increases. This last time was a little bit less, a little slower increase, but still an increase from $339 million to $384 million dollars. So now what we should start seeing now with Senate Enroll Act 1, with the property tax bill that passed last year, is the effort there is to start then lowering assessed values. So we should now start to see this trend reverse and start to come down. But what that will do now then is, what people need to understand is that will start pushing up tax rates. When assessed values come down, tax rates go up. That's the automatic thing that happens with that. When assessed values go up, tax rates come down. When assessed values go down, tax rates go up. That's the only way you can levy the same amount of money to run your operations. So this slide shows our average daily membership, our ADM, kind of historical. This is the number of students enrolled on a given day in the fall, and then in the spring. This is just showing fall, I believe. Does the green show?
Green is spring.
Green spring, yes,
Yeah.
it does show spring, yeah. Yeah, the blue is fall and the green is spring on this chart. So you can see going back to 2015, 2016, we kind of peaked in 17, 18, 960. That was the year, you kind of see off to the side, that was the year when we were able to count preschool kids as kindergartners across the state. Schools were doing that across the state. They were counting pre-K kids as kindergartners, as pre-K, as begindergartners, basically. There was a loophole school corporations found as a way to count preschool kids, 4-year-olds, as kindergartners. Well, the state caught on to that. The school corporations were doing that and collecting them in their ADM dollars, and then passed some legislation to stop it, basically. So that's where you see the dip from 960 to 925 the next year. That was the year then all of a sudden school corporations across the state couldn't do that anymore. We did bounce back though, and we were growing, and then COVID hit. So you see, ever since COVID, we've been declining enrollment. Now we did take
Has that been kind of across the state?
Yeah.
That you've seen?
in rural, and I've had some conversations where they're also starting to see it in some of the suburban schools. Like the only one that wasn't was Westfield Schools, was the only suburban school that was growing. A lot of the others were also seeing the decline. Especially rural is feeling it. Now we are up 3 students. We just took the ADM, looked at ADM today. We were at 842 today, up 3 kids from our fall ADM. So.
Now, is that included online kids?
Yes. I think we're Jeff. Oh, you're here. Well, we're down by 6 online kids.
We had 6. We're down to 4 now.
Down to 4 online kids. So, but yes, that would include those students. In that 839, that would include those students too. In the 839 ADM.
Those 2 came back to the building. So we're not down students. We're just down online students.
No. Oh, good. Yeah. So we had 6 online, 2 came back into the building. Now they're just 4 purely online.
So we're actually better, because with the online, you only get 85%
Of the funding.
of the funding. So since we got the 2 back, we'll get 100% again.
Good point. So this is ADM by demographics. The blue line is free and reduced lunch population. You see that's grown over time. Where in 23-24, we were over 50% free and reduced lunch. The orange line is special education. That's dropped slightly in 23-24. We're right around that 12 to 14% rate for special ed. The gray line is our English language learners, our EL students. We have a pretty small population of that group. About 30 students roughly across the district total, number-wise, about 3%. Okay, this now then starts to get into fund balances. This one's a hard one to read because this is all of our funds. We break it down here specifically into smaller chunks in the next couple slides. So this shows all of the funds. The largest bar there, the yellow one is operations. The next largest one, the gold one, is education. Then you have a couple smaller ones. debt services and so on. Breaking it out into smaller, you have two main accounts, education and operations. The state did that several years ago. We used to have six accounts, general fund, capital projects, debt services, transportation, bus replacement, and so on. And they mainly just put it into two funds, education and operations. So this is education fund. It shows kind of what it's done over the last several years. Again, off their graph, the last data they have in their dashboard was our end of December of 24, which was 1.1 million cash balance in there. Now, as of December 30th, 2025, it's down to 577,000, so down 614,000. Now that big hit is primarily due to we had two bargaining sessions back to back there, where we did salary and insurance increases with teachers and with staff, teachers primarily. But they were back to back. Typically you spread those out, once a year, but we had two back to back where we did one in July and then turned right around and did another one just a few months later due to that herb stay. So we had two hits kind of boom, boom to that kind of drove that down. So that'll somewhat bounce back a little bit here. This is operations. Our operations fund, again, you've seen over time that's gone down. That's due to the projects, major projects we've had to do just because of the age of our buildings. The HVAC project, roofs, just you name it, the things we've had to do have started to hit that. Now, some of that's been also supported with bonds, but not everything can be hit with bonds. So from last year, we're down 50,000, the cash balance from this December to last December. Rainy day, from 2017, you had the big dip down to 831,000. That's when you purchased the 26 acres back here for future development. So it stayed at 831 for a long time. Here, where you hit the 800 or the 618,000, that's where we had to utilize some of the funds for litigation on the roof case. But now that's been settled, you see there where the green arrow, that's been paid back through the settlement fund. So we're back to the 831. So it's not reflected in the chart yet. So that cash balance is back to the original 831,297 because it's been repaid through those the litigation repayment, the funds that we got through the litigation. This charts compare revenue to expenditures for a calendar year. It will indicate if there's any deficit financing. So, again, the only ones showing here are the only two spots where you're seeing deficit financing is the one spot where we spent rainy day funds to purchase the land back in 2018, and then some of the construction projects are showing some of the operations money that's been spent. Same there, that deficit bar, that's from the construction projects. This one is, as we looked at that one's some quirk in the chart, because it actually should be, it's not deficit, it's not, if you dig into the bar chart, it's not deficit finance, it's not deficit. It's actually money ahead. So it's, we don't know why it's showing underneath. It's a mistake in the chart. Oops, it's a mistake in the chart. It shouldn't be below that line. So that's why I put the green arrow there. So
What's
now-
this one in 2015, the deficit, do you know?
no, that was
Okay.
prior to me. Probably bonds,
Okay.
related to bonds they did at that time.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't know. The only thing it could be is related. They did big bond projects at that time, so they may have fronted some of that. So
They actually did 2 bonds.
yeah, they did 2 bond projects in 15, 16. That's when they did the original performance services projects, the roofs and stuff. So that's my only guess. This chart and the next one indicate the corporation's ability to maintain operations in the event of a delay in revenue payments to the corporation. So it shows the percent, basically the fund balance, shows the percentage that the fund balance would cover. So in 2024, expenditures were 6.9 million. The fund balance is 1.1 million. So your fund balance is 17% of your expenditures. So you could cover 17% of your total expenditures. So ideally, you want a cash balance of 9 to 12%. And in education is what they say your target should be. Is 9 to 12% is your target. That's right now in 24, that was setting at 17%. So you were a little bit higher, but remember we took that big hit, hit with a double bargaining thing where that's dropped $600,000 here, boom. So we're going to be on the low side here for a while on that right now. And the reason you want that 9 to 12% cash balance is there has been times, it's been several years. It's been a good 12 years or so since it's happened or more, but there have been times where the state ran into money problems and the state withheld payments from school corporations. The state state will send us our how often is it?
Every month.
Every month the state will send us a payment that goes into our education funds. But there were times where the state would withhold those payments because they didn't have them. They said they didn't have the money to make it. So you would have to have enough money in your cash balance to potentially cover a payroll. And so that's where you need that 9 to 12% cushion in there to be able to cover a payroll, or sometimes 2 because the state was withholding your checks. Here's operations. So in operations right now, we could cover 41%, 41.6% of our expenditures with our cash balance. These charts show where our revenues come from. This is showing all of our accounts, basically. The blue is the state revenue. That's basically our education account. Now, that comes from sales tax and is based on our ADM, based on the number of students we have. The red at the bottom, local tax revenue, that would be our operations. That's what funds our operations account. The green bars, those are bonds. Those are construction bonds that we've done. We've done here a couple here recently. The pink at the top, those are still showing a little bit. That money's gone. Those are stimulus funds we got back from COVID times, but that money is all gone. The yellow are federal funds like Title I, all of our title money, Title I, rural schools, school lunch. There's a little bit of federal money that comes through. And then you have a little bit of other local money that comes in the kind of the purplish. And it just kind of shows then the breakdown. The education fund to the left, that is almost all state revenue from sales tax. Get a little bit of federal money going also into that. There. Sure what the yellow was, like the stimulus maybe. The right is capital or now operations fund. That is almost entirely revenue from property tax, almost entirely. You use bonds if you need to supplement it with for a major project. If we had done a referendum, then there would be a chart here. There's 3 types of referendum. There's a capital referendum for building construction, operating referendums for just more money for salaries and operating utilities and so on, or there's a safety referendum for like to improve the safety and security of your buildings. Those are the 3 type of referendums allowed in Indiana. If we had any one of those types of referendums, then the revenue would show in a chart here, but we've not done one, so it's blank. So basically this information is for the school finance condition report, was generated from the DUAB website. It shows where that came from. To access it, this tells them basically how to access that information. That's a public information. Anybody from the public can get to that and search that. You can search that for any school corporation in the state and get that information. And the last thing under this piece of the agenda, under the Board of Finance, is the consideration of the conflict of interest disclosures that you have to do if it applies to you. If you have a potential conflict of interest, you have to complete the form that's at your seat and give that to Lori.
Yet. I have them over here.
Oh, Lori has them, so she'll give you one, and you need to complete that and get it to Lori, and then she needs to upload those to Gateway. That's if you have any kind of potential conflict, or that would be a financial interest, type of a thing. So, other than that we would suggest a motion to end the finance.
So we need a motion to approve the conflict of interest. So,
If you have any.
okay.
We do.
2.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the conflict of interest disclosure statement.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. And do I have a motion to close the Board of Finance meeting?
I'll make a motion to close the Board of Finance meeting.
Second that.
Moved and seconded. And on to consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
Just a second on that deal.
Okay.
Bingaman there, he's gonna be the varsity softball coach. He's gonna be able to handle being the athletic director and when there's situations going on during the baseball season or track season. Is he gonna be able to handle it when he's over there doing the
So Denny, John and I talked about that. So right now he has someone covering all baseball games, both varsity and junior high. I will be at all home track meets because I do the announcing. And then, so that would just leave any junior high softball games. So he's looking at someone for junior high softball games.
Now, is this gonna be just a year deal? Or is he wanting it for the eternity, or so he wants to quit, or is it gonna be?
Right now, I would say it's gonna go from year to year. Finding quality coaches that want to do it is difficult, not just at the varsity level, but any level.
I know the timing of this was when she resigned, was kind of a bad timing on that deal, trying to find a new one.
We post. I explained it. I explained it to Alex. We posted it externally. We had one applicant. Is all we had.
Yeah, but did he go on the IHSAA and put it out there?
I don't know where all it did, but I know it was posted externally, and we had one applicant, references were checked, and then they didn't come back very good on the one applicant that they weren't overly comfortable with, and the assistant coaches weren't overly comfortable with that particular applicant, so we didn't have a whole lot of options, so Mr. Bingaman was the head coach prior to Gabby, so that's where they went that route.
I just
So.
didn't want him to do his other athletic director duties and, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like I said, we have a kind of a somewhat of a assistant athletic director, you know, that helps, so that we'll definitely look at that route for baseball. I'm assuming Jerry's probably the one he's tapped into for baseball. So.
But they've got it covered, and that's good.
Yeah, there's a plan in place.
We'll continue to keep that job opening posted. Still looking for a softball coach while he does this.
We wouldn't until next season again.
Okay.
So I don't.
He's going to do it. So we're not going to post the job while he's the coach. We're not going to.
I don't
continue to try to find somebody.
No, I don't think that was the intent.
No, it was not the intent. He will be the 25, 26 school year softball coach, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, he'll be this
That
coming
season's
season
already
softball.
starting. I mean, that's pretty much
Yeah.
ready to start. So.
I understand that, but if we're doing a year by year basis, wouldn't we keep that open to try to find somebody to fill that position next year?
I don't know if that's the case. That's up to him, because once this is voted on to fill, that position is filled until he resigns.
Okay.
So he would have to resign for that position to then be vacant again.
And then we would repost.
Then it would be
next year.
reposted and then
Spring,
be
summer,
left
whatever.
to fill. So again, you know, he's got a daughter coming up through the program, so I don't know if he's going to want to go till the daughter graduates, or again if he's going to ask to post that, you know, at the end of the season, say, you know, hey, let's post this and see if somebody can fill it. That'll be up to him and how he approaches that at the end of the season. But technically, he would have to resign, in order to then post it. Yeah.
Any other discussion about, no? All right, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second. Moved and seconded, are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. On to action items. We have a 6th grade presentation this evening about the Chicago field trip.
So Mr. Williams here and several 6th graders. Anxious to present about their trip.
All right, go ahead and face them. Yep, face the board. Okay, you guys ready?
Alright. This is the 2026 6th grade Chicago trip by
Corey Hansen, Kaden Shedden, Jeremy Sell.
Rally Roller, Alvin Fry,
Fritz Mangus. Introduction. We are going on Thursday, May 7th, 2026. We are going to Chicago, Illinois to the Science and Industry Museum.
fundraisers. We posted a money calendar where you filled out a day and paid that amount. There was bake sales at the library and sports games. We are now having a teacher tattoo fundraiser where the kids buy different temporary tattoos to put on the teachers.
Transport and safety. The safety is the most important. The safety is the most important. We make sure that it's safe for all. The teachers watch the kids closely and make sure that they don't get lost. Also, the museum has safety protocols, so it's completely safe for students.
Adult chaperones. For the trip, we will be having 19 chaperones. Since a lot of the parents wanted to volunteer, the 3 teachers put names in a hat and drew 19 of the names.
The cost. The total cost is $5,000 $5,000. Each bus would cost around $2,000 each. The teachers are buying snacks for the bus ride and back. That is about $50, and so fair. And we have so far raised $2,762 and have $2,238 left.
Kids will have expectations for being able to go on the field trip. Kids cannot have more than 6 missing assignments in the last 9 weeks. Kids cannot have 2 office referrals. Lastly, all the kids have to have a permission slip. Have fun.
The museum is located at 5700 South DeAussable Lake Shore Drive, Chicago, Illinois. The museum is located at Highland Park.
What is the Museum of Science and Industry? The Museum of Science and Industry is a museum about the world's history, science, technological achievements, and more. There's so much to see and do there.
Coal mine. The coal mine was one of the museum's first exhibits. It was made in the 1930s. It excited visitors because they got to go down in a real coal mine shaft. They took an elevator down to the mine. The U-505 submarine. The U-505 submarine was a German World War II submarine that would prowl off the coast of the West Africa guiding ships. It is now in the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago.
007 Science, the science behind James Bond. The James Bond exhibit has real-world exhibits, chemistry, engineering, and technology behind the iconic gadgets, vehicles, and stunts from the James Bond films.
Summary budget. The whole budget was about Science and Industry Museum, and it was about road safety, costs, fundraisers, and a benefit look what is in the museum.
Hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Good job.
Good job, guys.
Very good, thank you.
What else are they doing for fundraising then to try to get
the rest of the way? Well, we have a lot that with the calendar that we started with, that we just have, kids just haven't brought in. We've been finding out that a lot of them have them stored at home and are sitting on some cash. So right now we're, like one the other day brought in.
Maybe they're investing it.
Yeah. So we're hoping to get those in. They're taking off with that tattoo fundraiser. So we're getting that going too.
How about the principal at the high school? He's got a top of his head.
Looks like there's some real estate up
there.
there.
Yeah, prime real estate.
Prime. Oceanfront property in Arizona.
They're doing a great job.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
We still got a little
Thank
bit
you.
left, so.
This is a trip they've taken in the past. I recommend approval for the. Are we asking for approval now for the trip, or is this just a presentation coming up, or do we need approval now?
I think it's just presentation.
Just presentation at this time? Okay.
We'll get approval probably next month.
Next month? Okay. So we'll be coming back for approval in a future meeting here. All right, so great job. What we've tried to do is, if you haven't noticed, is we wanted to bring back students into the board meetings. So we're back to rotating kids, some type of kid presentation or teacher presentation back into the board meetings. So I think that last month was the high school, the FFA kids. This month was the elementary. I think next month's the elementary again, and then the high school will be a couple months in a row. So we're trying to bring that back into the mix.
Very good. On to.
Lisa, are you going to require them to stay, or are you going to allow them?
You guys you're free to go. It's pretty exciting stuff here, so you're welcome to stay. But if you have homework and you'd like to head for home, we completely understand.
Your teacher is leaving.
Yep. I've got class.
There are no bonus points. for
Thank you,
staying.
parents. Thank you, parents.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Good to see you.
Good job.
Well, that cleared out, boy. Do I have a motion to approve the December 9th, 2020, or should we wait?
She went to the restaurant.
She told me to stall it. I wasn't going to. Well, now it's gonna be embarrassing because we're all gonna stare at her.
I don't know, do we have to, I've never had that happen before.
You don't have a motion yet, so I don't know what you're.
Do we wait for her to come back?
Now you can do whatever you want, madam.
You're in charge.
All right, let's go on. Approval of the December 9th, 2025 board meeting minutes. So we still have a quorum, so we're okay. So, yeah. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion that we approve the December 9th, 2025 board meeting.
Wait for my TV.
Minutes.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Oh, no, you can't second. You have to abstain.
Oh,
yeah.
Because you weren't there.
I wasn't here.
So you can't second.
Yeah, you're right.
Second. All right. I have a first and a second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Who
Aye.
seconded? Did Brad second?
Nope.
Oh, Rochelle.
She did. All
She
the,
got
and
back to second.
On my way in.
see,
Okay.
opposed? Nobody, abstentions? Yes, there we go. God, that was out of my Sorry.
Thanks, Rochelle. You threw
She's
us
on
all
top
off.
of it, I'll tell you.
Let's see, on to approval to reappoint
This is the
Lori.
first meeting of 2026.
Yeah.
I need to remind you you're live on camera.
Approval to reappoint Lori Kimbrell as Corporation Treasurer Business Affairs Manager.
Recommend reappointment of Ms. Kimbrell. She does a great job.
Dr. Grable doesn't want to have to train anybody else. Job security right there. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve to reappoint Lori Kimbrell as Corporation Treasurer and Business Affairs Manager.
Second that.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you go, Lori. You get to
You
stick
got a
around.
job.
Okay, at least we're here.
Congratulations.
We're in the right to do it again.
Mm. Approval to reappoint Douglas Cox as Corporation Attorney.
Oh, same thing, recommend. We keep Doug on for another year.
Are we gonna make him sweat it?
I think we should.
Well, he was here on time tonight.
All right, am I counting that? Is that a motion then, Danny?
Yes, make a motion that we
Okay.
reappoint Douglas Cox as
All right,
Corporation Attorney.
Denny said it like that. I will second that
Moved and
motion to
seconded.
reappoint.
All right, all those in, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There you go, Mr. Cox. Looks like you're still employed.
Thank you.
Approval of the senior class trip to Kings Island, May 15th, 2026.
This is typically an annual request for the seniors to go to Kings Island for their class trip, so recommend approval of that.
I make a motion to approve the senior class trip to Kings Island on May 15th, 26.
I assume they have all the chaperones and everything
Mm-hmm. Yep.
taken care of.
Yep.
I second that then.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's approved. Approval of the classified staff salary increases.
You have in your packet the recommendation for basically the spreadsheet that lays out all the different groups and the recommendations. We basically tried to do what we did last year. Basically a 40-cent raise for all of our different groups on the hourly people. Bus drivers last year, same as last year again, it was up for regular route drivers of $3 a day. Special route drivers $2 a day. Directors vary, directors vary, but roughly about 1,000 on their base. So there's a few variations, like Shanna Flora needed to come up a little bit more. The three ladies in this office needed to come up a little bit more, just because they need to be adjusted for what they do, the hours that they put in, and they were a little behind, especially our other directors. So recommend approval of the increases for this year.
I make a motion to approve the classified staff salary increases.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any questions?
We can, we can still vote on that if we have somebody relation, okay. Thought we did. Sure.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Approval of the out-of-state professional day for Adam Berry.
Again, this is pretty much, I think, an annual request. Coach Berry, in his capacity, Coach Berry wants to attend the Wing T camp, which is out of state. Any out of state field trips, or in this case, out of state professional development, has to be approved by the board. So that's why it's coming.
Just the one that he and the coaching staff goes to, or?
Typically in the past, it has been his coaching staff, but I don't think he's done that. The coaching staff hasn't gone in the last couple.
I make a motion to approve the out-of-state PD day for Adam Berry.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Approval to purchase a bus barn shop truck.
Yeah, wrote about it in the packet. The shop truck is on its last leg. Eric's been, and I think you'd approved a previous board meeting for him to go out and look up to a certain amount, and it came in well under that. He went out and looked new versus used and found the exact same truck, a new one and a used one, the exact same truck, within $1,000 of each other. It's a stripped down model, both Chevy, 1500, is that what it is?
Silverado.
Chevy Silverado 1500. That's the minimum size.
It's the heavy duty one, 2500.
2500. It's the minimum size he needs to be able to pull, pull what we need to pull and do what we need to do. The stripped down model, absolutely nothing in it fancy wise. With the rebates that are eligible, it was only $1,000 more than the low mileage used. The next lowest used one he found had over 100,000 miles on it. So yeah. So the low mileage used only had like 6,000 or 7,000 miles on it, but it didn't come with any warranty. Whereas the new, for just $1,000 more, comes with a pretty significant warranty. So
I think 3 year.
3 year, yeah, like 3 years, 36,000 miles or something like that, 35,000 miles. It's in the memo. So we recommend the new one with the rebate for just the $1,000 more. So recommend that. They decided they're going to keep the old shop truck. Maintenance is always in the need with the four of them share 2 trucks, so they're always needing an additional one. So they're going to keep it with the understanding that we're not going to put money into it, other than just keeping it running. We're not going to put money into it per se, but that'll at least give them a little flexibility to have an additional vehicle when they need to jump into one. So recommend approval.
And this is from the local dealership?
Yeah, Mike Anderson Chevy, yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve to purchase a bus barn shop truck.
Second that.
Moved and seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Truck's approved. We have donations to approve tonight. Mabel E. Patty Endowment, $155.03 for H-neck writing. Anderson's $200 to FFA. Royal Center Public Library, a camera for Pioneer Yearbook. Do I have a motion to approve those donations?
Make a motion to approve the donations.
Second that.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donations approved. Can be accepted. On to discussion, facilities reports.
All right, for the elementary, looking at our teacher focus, using our learning labs and our data preparing for the upcoming assessments that we'll have. I checkpoints, I learned, and also I read. So that's what our main focus has been in our meetings. For this month, our staff member of the month was Adam Berry. I wanted to recognize him for all the hard work that he does within the building, and then the obvious success that he had with the football team, with that football program. So he was recognized at our student assembly. Our Panthers of the month for preschool was Ayla Collins, kindergarten Maverick Scott, first grade Sawyer Gibbs, second grade Adeline Ross, Third grade was Cooper Conrad. Fourth grade, Kelly Coonrod. Fifth grade, Elijah Davis. And sixth grade was Amelia Flynn. So again, those students are recognized at our student assembly, and they get some extra privileges and rewards this month for being Panthers of the Month. During December, we had lots of celebrations. One of the big ones is our Rotary Christmas Party. Dr. Graybold, we got 31 students, I believe, from Pioneer.
I think it was just 30, I think.
Was it 30?
It was 30.
They got to see Santa Claus, ride the carousel, get pizza, cookies, drinks, and lots of presents. So it was a great day. All the students that we had were very appreciative and well behaved and did a great job. Our Christmas program that we had this year was a big success, with the slight exception of we've got to look at parking and gym capacity if we continue to have that many students, because it was packed, very packed. But overall, a great show. Mr. Show and Seagull put on a great show and always does so. It included
I assume that we don't have limitations on number per family, or like tickets or anything. It's just yeah.
We don't. So I think we were about, from my rough estimate, as I was looking over the crowd trying to find how many people were standing, we were about 60 people or 60 seats short.
I thought that's the most I think I've ever. Yeah, I've been to them.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, definitely.
We will definitely get that fixed for next year.
Thankfully, the
Mrs.
weather
Ayers
was decent
also
for
put in
parking wise. It wasn't wasn't muddy or raining or wasn't too bad.
Made it work.
Yeah, yeah.
She had an art show that was all the art projects from kindergarten through sixth grade were displayed. She continued our Harry Potter theme for that month, and she had a lot of neat projects going through if you're able to see those. Our leadership team, guiding coalition team, is working continually on the new A through F accountability and what we need to adjust for this data for next year, and then focusing TBRI this month on levels, updating that, and our windows and capacity. We had our first staff self-check today. Administrators, we went on a TBRI administrative retreat on the 4th of December, which was very beneficial for all of us. I took several students to Pizza Hut on the 9th for lunch with the principal. That's always a fun time. Elementary athletics, the boys 5th and 6th grade had successful seasons in their own right. The 5th grade had a lot of wins, a lot of tournament wins, and the 6th grade significantly improved overall their performance as 5th graders going into 6th grade, so they did a good job. And now we have girls basketball starting, so no rest in between there. And then just as an update for you guys, if you have any questions after the board meeting, I can answer those. I am addressing and updating some custodial duties in the building to address some things going on there. Upcoming events, we have we're promoting elementary attendance by doing kind of an incentive program for the kids to go to the varsity games this weekend. Our island checkpoints are going to be the week of January 26th. Our spelling bee is January 29th at 2 o'clock. If you want to come see that or help out being a proctor, that'd be great. And then we also have our science fair coming up February 9th, so I'm sure you'll be hit up for helping out with that as well. That's all I have.
All right, over the junior senior high school for safe and nurture learning environment, we have our second 9 weeks junior high incentive. If you would like to come and chaperone our students as they watch a movie and have popcorn and a sugary drink, that would be great. We'd love to have you. We're talking about being respectful, responsible, and ready to learn for them to earn that privilege. TBRI focus for the month of January is empathy. So we're running through those lessons during our Panther time. And then we had our first junior high formal in as long as I can remember last weekend. Huge success. I forgot how much kids just like to be together. I was told the first couples dance, slow dance, the boys conveniently got hungry and thirsty and left the premises. So our teachers.
That's okay.
It is. So our teachers figured out very quickly that they needed to devise a plan so that they would help both the ladies and the gentlemen understand about how you ask someone to dance and how you dance with someone. So it was good to see. You kind of forget that as we've moved on and have had that.
The slow songs were the good ones.
Well, they said it was just they were gone. So it was a good thing. Literacy, our PLC groups are working on that. Our Panther Time right now, we are starting. I took a minute away from classroom instruction, so now our Panther Time's 30 minutes. So we're doing Tier 2 and Tier 3 interventions for Monday and Tuesday for our English students that need the boost, as with the new accountability grades. Trying to get kids from below proficiency to at proficiency. So really working with those smaller groups of teachers, groups of 15 to 20, working with our juniors for SAT and working with our sophomores for PSAT, just to see if we can help those with those Tier 2 and Tier 3 for our students. We're going to go 2 weeks on, 1 week off, assess where they're at, and then redo it until they have their standardized test. We've got teacher buy-in. Math teachers, English teachers are excited and ready to go. It's great to see them. Mastery of standards. We just finished, or tomorrow we will finish, we're starting our math. Checkpoint 2 should take a couple days, so we'll get that data after that and start looking at that during our PLC time. Service projects. Our juniors and our seniors are doing a great job. We need to look in for some strategies, so if you have those, that would be great for service projects for our freshmen and sophomores. We used to have them clean the building after games, so they still have the opportunity to do that. They don't take advantage of that opportunity because the feedback we got from parents and from our students, I can do it on my own. I don't want to be locked down to a certain event. Well, they're not doing it. So definitely would take some suggestions on how we can get those service line projects. But that'll be something I go with my guiding coalition group for ideas. College and career and life readiness, February 26th, we're going to do our college and our career fair. For the past 2 years, we've led the charge on that, and we've done it out at the airport. We have changed and morphed that. That's going to be in our auxiliary gym. So you guys are welcome to stop by. Right now we have 42 vendors that are going to be there. Whether they're employment or their colleges. I'm pretty excited about that. 5 other schools.
Disconnected.
Four other schools, are involved, where they bus the kids in. They're here for an hour and a half, and then they leave, and then the next school comes in.
That is neat to walk through and get a chance to stop in. It's always been out at the airport. They'll be here. That's a neat thing to see.
It is. It's really pretty cool. We make our kids dress up for our juniors and our seniors with resume in hand. Pretty neat to see the people interact with each one of the vendors. And then for extracurricular excellence, just want to congratulate Mia McCaig again. She's our Lilly Scholarship Award recipient. What a great honor it is, not just for her, but for Pioneer as well. I believe that's help me out, Dr. Grable, 12th, 13th? 12th or 13th scholarship winner, so pretty cool. That's all I have. You have any questions?
A couple things at the district level. Today we had the district guiding coalition meeting for PLCs. It's kind of a leadership group that helps guide the admin team, myself and the admin team on 2 levels on PLC implementation across the entire district, because we don't want that just to be a building thing. We want that to be a district-wide approach and implementation, and also strategic plan. To give us feedback on goals, strategies, action steps, and all that. And we got some good feedback on a lot of that today, and made some little tweaks, because that's a living document that we want to look at and tweak. One thing we're currently actively looking at, and we'll come back to the board on this at some point, is our mission and vision. As we've had conversations of that, especially as our groups have gone through the PLC Institute and gotten some recent coaching through consultants, especially a consultant, a retired superintendent from Brownsburg doing some work with PLCs and stuff like that. is questioning our mission and vision, you know, and how those resonate and go through, and those really hit us hard when we were at Lincolnshire this last summer, because they hit on a lot of topics that really made us think about our mission and vision on how those might be bettered, you know, and shorter, sweeter, you know, more focused on learning. You know, that's really what we're about, is learning. You know, that's what we're here for. Make sure kids are learning. It's not that we teach it, because I can teach it and kids don't learn it. I got to make sure the kids learn it, you know, and that should be the focus. And so we had a lot of great conversations about how can we tweak that mission and vision to focus on student learning. And so we had some good ideas, but we kind of want to sit on it and digest it for a little bit, and we're going to come back and talk about it some more, and then eventually we would bring some suggestions to the board to tweak that. Now, core values, that's you guys. I mean, those you set, so we're not messing with those in any way. The core values are set by the board, so we're just making some recommendations on mission vision piece. So. Also, you have, related to that, you have the book in front of you, Leading PLCs at Work District-Wide, From the Boardroom to the Classroom. And I read this book, I've read it twice now here this school year. Got it from the group that put on the Lincolnshire Institute that we go to. Really good book. And the reason I got it for all of the members of the Guiding Coalition, and the reason is it's about how to do that Guiding Coalition. And the reason I also got it for the admin team, and I also got it for you, is like chapter 1 is about the board and superintendent level, you know, and how the board and superintendent look at PLCs, and the leadership from the board level and the superintendent level on this PLC piece. And how this district is kind of the leader across the country of PLCs. And PLC is Professional Learning Community. And we throw out acronyms without thinking. That's Professional Learning Communities. It's probably the premier model out there for improving instruction, improving teaching, improving, you know, education. We told teachers, you know, we're going to have two focuses, you know, to improve Pioneer Regional School Corporations. We're going to narrow our focus, and we're only going to focus on two things: professional learning communities and TBRI. That's our behavior, you know, piece, the behavior strategies piece that we're implementing. That's it. Those are the two things we're going to focus on. We're going to get really good at those two things. We get really good at those two things, we're going to see, we'll see results. So this book kind of helps you understand what that's all about, you know, especially chapter 1 is all about the board and superintendent. Chapter 2 is about that district leadership team. Chapter 3 is about the building leadership team, the building guiding coalition. And then chapter 4 is about what PLCs look like at the grade level team or departments, what they do. Wednesday mornings, you know, what we do on Wednesday mornings, chapter 4. That's all chapter 4 is about. It explains what the teachers are doing on Wednesday mornings. So it's kind of just, you know, again, if you want to dig into that, that's why I got you that book, so you may understand that common language and kind of the direction we're moving in some of this. Rotary mentioned a little, or Pat mentioned a little bit this, but we started this month back our junior Rotarian program, and our pioneer is this month, and Micah Rands and Mia McKeag are the representatives for Pioneer that are our junior Rotarians. And at the first meeting, which was just this past Monday, Mr. Barry and Micah Rands were our guest speakers at Rotary, talking about Coach Barry talked about kind of the success, you know, and what he's done with the football program and how he's got it where it is. And then we asked Micah to talk about, being the IHSA Mental Attitude Award winner. So that's also a great honor. He's like the 13th Panther, to win that award. At our next Rotary meeting on the 26th, Mia will be our guest speaker, and she'll talk about obviously the Lilly Scholarship award. So great to see a couple Panthers at our Rotary meetings. Our admin team recently attended a special ed law training. Was good. Put on by Church, Heidel, and Anthem. All the administrators for the co-op attended it. We're also now looking at one here, hopefully in the summer, on 504s. And we're in a short session, so we're tracking legislation again. As those pop up, we'll try to keep everyone informed. I think I saw lately they thought with the short session there wouldn't be a lot of education bills, but I think already they're tracking at least 41 education bills this session. So there's a couple interesting ones. So we'll just kind of see where it goes. Some good ones. There's some positive things we're seeing in that, but also a few that are a little concerning that I know they're trying to get tweaked or changed. So some of that comes through. We'll start trickling through ISBA, those newsletters too, and the emails. So, but we'll also try to keep you informed. It's really all I've got. So, anything?
Got the budget pretty much in the computer. I just have some tweaking to do. And then Form 9, which is the financials from July 1st through December 31st. That's due the end of this month. So busy January. And then we're getting a new small bus this week too.
Oh, is that coming in?
Mm-hmm.
And they started working on the one, I heard Eric saying they started working on the one that got hit by the deer finally.
Yeah, they had to order parts, so who knows how long that'll be coming.
At least in the works.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little tough being short, but down one. So.
Yes.
I can report that the winter ISBA meeting the day before was changed to virtual because they had anticipated a large amount of snow in Indianapolis. Snow didn't materialize, but apparently an inch of ice did, so it was a good thing they went to virtual. Mm-hmm. Biggest things that came out of it, opt-out is a hot issue, and the U.S. Supreme Court weighed in on it in a case out of Maryland. Yeah. It involved LGBTQ plus book and instruction in the school curriculum. The school first allowed the opt-out, and then decided it was too difficult to administer administratively and said no. Parents sued, district court said you can't opt out. They then appealed to the Fourth Circuit, who also said no, you can't opt out. And then they appealed to the Supreme Court, who said, sincerely held religious belief, yes you can. So beware, if we have anything in our curriculum that is not mandatory according to Indiana, because in Indiana if it's mandatory, no opt-out is possible. But if it doesn't fit under that umbrella, we need to be aware if they can justify under a strict scrutiny that they have a sincerely held religious belief for opting out, we have to allow it, regardless of how difficult it may be. Another thing, and I found this interesting, because of the conversation Jeff and I had about something, where you prepared a letter using a chatbot. Be careful. AI basically involves third-party providers, and we don't want to overshare and violate FERPA. So be very careful what you use chatbots for. The other things that are kind of interesting, and it's kind of nice that Dr. Gable, you talked about Brownsburg's former superintendent, because Brownsburg Community School Corporation seems to have an unending legal matter. So the fees we had in our roof case pale in comparison to what Brownsburg is incurring. There's a case called Klug versus Brownsburg Community School Corporation. It started out involving transgender students. The school allowed a teacher who had a problem with that to use last names, so that teacher wouldn't have to use the new name that the child had chosen. And then the school said, no, we can't do that, that's an undue hardship. And it fought its way through federal district court, went up to the 7th Circuit, and then a U.S. Supreme Court decision caused that decision to be vacated, and it's gone back to the federal court for factual hearings to determine whether there is a factual dispute. So that case hasn't ended yet. There's another case out of Ohio involving a complaint where a heterosexual woman claimed that a lesbian had been promoted over her and that she was demoted from her position in favor of a gay man. She lost on every level until she got to the U.S. Supreme Court, which said discrimination doesn't depend on minority or majority status. So that case is back. The other one, which is useful from our standpoint, it was a case out of Bloomington where the employee thought that the supervisor, whether it was a principal or superintendent, I don't know which, had created a hostile work environment by transferring her to a more difficult classroom. Well, they said that wasn't enough for age discrimination, and it turned out that the reason for the transfer was that teacher was very effective with the kind of students that were in that classroom. So there is some good news. And that's what I have to report as far as an update.
Well, at least tonight you're wearing IU colors, not Notre Dame. Let me see.
I did notice that when he came in.
We didn't play.
Didn't get a chance, did you?
Yeah, that's a sore point. There are two teams that got to go into the playoffs that had worse records.
There we go.
One of them got humiliated by you. And
Play better. That's all you gotta do. Play
and
better.
I'm hoping the other one gets humiliated in the playoff, in the final game.
All right, anything from Lori? Anything from the board?
Todd, do you have anything?
Don't leave you out.
All right, meeting adjourned. Have a safe trip home.
I think that'll be